The idea of a universal basic income, or UBI, has been around for centuries. The most famous example is from Sir Thomas More's 1516 book Utopia, where he imagined a society where everyone received a guaranteed income. The concept has been gaining traction in recent years, with a few countries even conducting their own UBI experiments. But is this a good idea? Let's take a look at the pros and cons of a universal basic income. Before we begin, if you don't subscribe yet, please subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to get notified of our new videos. The term Universal Basic Income, UBI, has been used in a variety of ways, but there is no single definition of what it means. At its core, UBI is a policy proposal that would provide a guaranteed level of income for all citizens, regardless of employment status. The specific implementation details of UBI vary, but the concept is always the same: to ensure that everyone has a minimum level of financial security. The biggest pro of a UBI is that it would help to alleviate poverty. By giving everyone a guaranteed income, we would ensure that everyone has enough money to cover their basic needs. This would free up people to pursue their passions and dreams, without having to worry about making ends meet. However, there are also a few cons to consider. One is that it could lead to inflation, as more money would be chasing the same number of goods and services. Additionally, some people may become lazy if they know they have a guaranteed income, leading to a decrease in productivity. The Finnish government's 2-year trial of a universal basic income, UBI, has shown mixed results, with no significant difference in employment between the trial group and the control group. However, those in the trial group did report feeling healthier and less stressed than those in the control group. The trial, which began in December 2016 and ended in December 2018, saw 2,000 unemployed people aged 25 to 58 receive a guaranteed monthly income of €560, regardless of whether they found employment during that time. The control group of 5,000 people continued to receive unemployment benefits. The preliminary results, published today, showed that there was no difference between the two groups in terms of the number of days worked in 2017. Both groups worked an average of 49 days. The UBI trial group earned €21 less on average than the control group during 2017. However, the surveys showed that the UBI group perceived their health and stress levels to be significantly better than in the control group. This suggests that while the UBI may not directly lead to more employment, it could improve the overall well-being of those who receive it. UBI has been proposed as a way to address a number of different economic and social issues. For example, it has been suggested as a way to reduce poverty and inequality, to provide a safety net for workers who are displaced by automation and technological change, and to give people more time to pursue creative and non-traditional work. There is no single model for UBI, and different countries would likely implement it in different ways. However, there are a few key features that are common to most UBI proposals. First, UBI would be universal, meaning that it would be available to all citizens, regardless of employment status. This is in contrast to existing social safety net programs, which are means-tested and only available to those who meet certain eligibility criteria. Second, UBI would be paid in cash, rather than in-kind benefits like food or housing vouchers. This would give recipients the flexibility to use the money as they see fit, rather than having to use it for specific purposes. Third, UBI would be paid at a level that is sufficient to cover basic needs, but is not so high that it would discourage people from working. The exact level of UBI would likely vary from country to country, depending on factors such as the cost of living. UBI is a controversial idea, and there are a number of arguments for and against it. Supporters of UBI argue that it is a necessary response to the challenges of the 21st century, including automation and the gig economy. They also argue that UBI would provide a safety net that would allow people to take risks and pursue new opportunities. Critics of UBI argue that it is unaffordable and would be a disincentive to work. They also argue that UBI would be difficult to implement and would likely lead to abuse and fraud. There is no easy answer to the question of whether or not UBI is a good idea. However, it is clear that the concept of UBI is gaining traction, and it is likely that we will see more countries experiment with it in the years to come. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more videos from our channel, subscribe and make sure to turn on the bell icon.